Ma'ams and sirs, Ron Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent, and welcome to AEW Double or Nothing Recap Show. Probably go through it pretty quickly because I didn't take that good of notes. One of my buddies came here and we watched it. Not too many complaints about this show. It was pretty solid. I thought it was better than, let's see, I didn't watch the last AEW pay-per-view, but the one before that, I think it was Full Gear, the one where MJF won the title. I thought this was a little bit better than that pay-per-view, but anyway, that pay-per-view took place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you're not a subscriber yet, why don't you double down and click on that subscribe button for me. Now all that's out of the way, let's let it rip. Alright, we have a kickoff match, dark match, whatever you want to call it. And it was the Hardy Boys with Hook going against Ethan Page and Colton and Austin Gunn, the Gunn brothers. Hook and the Hardys was getting a little shine on Austin for a little bit. Some double team, triple team stuff. Then they started getting a little heat on Matt. The Guns and Ethan Page did. Hot tag to Jeff. Jeff looked pretty good in there until looked like he tweaked his leg a little bit. Then he slipped off the rope going for the Willow and the Wisp. I forgot what it's called now. Anyway, at the end, both Hardys hit the twist of fates on Ethan Page. Hook went for the chokehold. Ethan Page tapped out, and it looks like, I guess, Ethan Page, or I guess the roles reverse. I guess the contract of Ethan Page belongs to the Hardys now. So, I think they mostly have that stuff on Rampage, which I don't usually watch Rampage. Maybe they'll switch it to, yeah, because I think Rampage is going to be basically like Sunday Night Heat used to be. So I guess we'll see what happens if they either get more exposure on Dynamite or Collision when it starts. Anyway, next. So I'm going to be nice and kind of hold my opinions on this whole Martha Hart, Owen Hart situation. I get it. I guess anybody being the same, feel the same way in her positions probably, but so it is what it is. I mean, let's just say if I was Triple H or somebody there and was on the phone with her, I would try to explain we want Owen Hart in the WWE Hall of Fame because the fans want it. Anyway, I'll drop it at that, but I can't help but say this was cringe-worthy. Martha Hart comes out in a not-so-flattering outfit. Sorry, I'm not Mr. Universe, I know, but I'm definitely not going to wear things that are like way too tight on me. And I don't know what she was talking, you know, being gangster, trying to be cool. Yeah, like I said, being gangsta, bling bling, chicken wings. I don't know. Then telling everybody to bring a cowboy hat. Then Tony Khan didn't make it any better. Like I said, I don't know if she was just had a little sip with whoever, sip of something with whoever, or spent some time in a casino gambling and enjoyed the free beverages, adult beverages. Anyway, they introduced the Owen Hart tournament coming up, and it was just it definitely wasn't a good look. I've done spent way too much time on it, so it is what it is. Next. Okay, as they were like, I guess it was what, 8 minutes before showtime, they started introducing the combatants in the Blackjack Battle Royal. And of course, as soon as the show started, they ring the bell. And this match is for the AEW International Championship. Yes. Orange Cassidy said he'd fight them all. And that's what we got. Not going to go too deep into it. I just didn't get the whole commander walking the ropes and jumping. He was walking on the top rope, jumped out, hit the floor, but was not eliminated. Like I said, I guess AEW makes it up as they go along. Anyway, the final two people in this match was Orange Cassidy and Swerve Strickland. And like I said, one of my buddies was over, and we both agreed that we rather just seen a Orange Cassidy Swerve Strickland match than that whole battle royal. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I would love to see some more Orange Cassidy and Swerve Strickland matches. Both pretty talented. Anyway, Orange Cassidy wound up winning. They were both fighting on the apron. Orange Cassidy got shot in, and Swerve was dangling, or not dangling, holding on the ropes for dear life. And Orange Cassidy, being Orange Cassidy, instead of going some big move, he just walks up, kicks his hand. Strickland fell, and Orange Cassidy wins the Blackjack Battle Royal and keeps the AEW International Championship. And I'm going to have a little, I'll wait till my Dynamite recap show to, something's been irking me about this, but I guess I finally just light bulb clicked and figured out what my problem with that whole situation is. But I'll get more into that come the Dynamite show, so stay tuned till, well, enjoy, or tune in to the AEW Dynamite recap show this week. Anyway, alright, I guess as far as the regular pay-per-views, instead of the pre-show, this is number 2, but really number 3. Third match of the night, Adam Cole, Chris Jericho, and a no-holds-barred fight. I forgot what they called it here. Basically just a gimmick match where anything goes. In the end, Jericho brought out the handcuff chains and handcuffed him. There was a spot earlier where Jericho brought out the kendo sticks. And this is one of the little problems I had with this match. I say this is probably it wasn't that bad, but definitely one of my favorite match of the night. I wouldn't say it's the worst either. But what it was just Jericho had a kendo stick, then runs out Britt Baker, and instead of just throwing Adam Cole the kendo stick in her hand, let him kind of fight it out, she wound up going in there and beating up on Chris Jericho. Whatever. But anyway, towards the end, Jericho got the chain out, handcuffed Cole, then Cole came back and handcuffed himself to Jericho. He would hit the what was it, Panama or whatever, basically where he jumps into a Canadian destroyer, then hits a Shining Wizard from behind with a chain on his knee. Then he winds up putting a chain on his fist and winds up beating on Chris Jericho. Then the referee called it. Jericho couldn't defend himself, so your winner, Adam Cole. Baby. Next. Next up is a match I don't think probably a lot of fans probably will not like this, or did like this match, but for me, I thought it was a pretty good match here. AEW Tag Team Title match, FTR against Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal. Started out with a bunch of what they used to call Tennessee bullshit tiptoe spots. In the end, a bunch of people got involved. Jay Lethal, or Mark Briscoe got laid out with a guitar shot. Everybody kind of interfered. Then in the end, though, FTR would get the win when They hit the Shatter Machine on Jeff Jarrett, retaining their tag team title. So, like I said, I thought this was a decent match right here. I had no problems with this match. It was, like I said, pretty entertaining. Next up we had the TNT title ladder match. The champion Warlow versus Christian Cage. Some safe looking ladder spots here. I guess Christian Cage, he's had some injuries. He's not a spring chicken no more. Had one little spot where Luchasaurus got involved, and Arn Anderson came in and sort of tell he had some kind of gimmick in his mouth, so he bit Luchasaurus' thumb, caused it to bleed. In the end, Warlow would hit the swanton from top of the ladder onto the table, onto Luchasaurus, got in the ring, climbed the ladder, grabbed his belt. Warlow still your TNT champion. Next we have the AEW Women's Championship. Jamie Hayter against Toni Storm. Everybody got involved. Jamie Hayter's little crew and the Outcasts, they sort of got involved. It started off with the Outcasts pretty much beating up on Jamie Hayter as Toni Storm was waiting on her. I'm sorry, somebody messed something up. Saraya had taken a turnbuckle pad off, exposing the turnbuckle, and Jamie Hayter decided to just run into it, just take a running start, knocks herself out, and Toni Storm hits the Storm Pile Driver, and your new AEW Women's Champion is Toni Storm. Like I said, it looked like somebody messed something up. Cause yeah, sorry, I think I left on that finish till the start of the next match, cause she literally just ran her. I didn't see Toni Storm really touch her. Like she just ran into that turnbuckle, but they're all getting better. Jamie Hayter, main event star. Anyway, next up, the Trios Championship. House of Black just said, okay, open challenge, and they pretty much kept it to dealer's choice, no special stipulation. The Acclaim wound up coming out. What's his name? Max Caster. Yeah, he's starting to annoy me. The only thing I think of was like, man, can somebody just, instead of Anthony Bowens getting the heat, can Matt Caster do some selling? But oh well. Like I said, he's starting to annoy me. And I don't know. The crowd popped when Anthony Bowen said, "Scissor me, daddy." So, and that's what they cheered, "Scissor me, daddy." Anyway, yes. So they got to shine a little bit. House of Black gave him more than what they usually give anybody else. But they worked on Bowen's knee. Finally got the tag to Billy Gunn. He came in and he, melee started. Malachi Black hit the Black Mass on Billy Gunn. 1, 2, 3, and still your trios tag champions is the House of Black. Alright, now for the TBS Championship. Jay Cargill defended against Taya Valkyrie. This match was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. A little back and forth. Then Taya hit her version of the Jaded. Cargill kicked out at 2. Then Jay Cargill hit her version of the Jaded. Got the win. Mark Sterling came in the ring. Threw out an open challenge. Out comes Chris Stratlander, and she came in, hit the tombstone, winds up pinning Jay Cargill. Now Chris Stratlander is now your new TBS champions, and Jake Cargill suffers her first defeat in her career. Had to happen sometime, and the very little I've seen of Stratlander, she's pretty decent. So I'm pretty sure they might be able to. She'll have some decent matches with people probably. Anyway, next. Alright, next up is for the AEW Heavyweight Championship of the World. Your four pillars: the champion MJF defending against Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Decent little match. Lot going on here. A lot of flippy stuff. They did have a cool spot where there was, exchanging pins. Then they kind of tied each other up in one big circle jerk of a submission hold. Like Darby had MJF in the figure four. Then MJF had Sammy in some kind of ankle lock. Jack Perry had a hold of Darby or Sammy and whatever. Anyway, it was a decent little match. MJF wound up winning when Allen went for the coffin drop on Jack Perry, but MJF slid the championship belt on top of Jack Perry, causing Darby Allin to land on the belt, kind of knocked himself out. Grabbed a headlock, took him over, hooked the leg, 1, 2, 3. Again, still your champion, MJF. He wants some competition, so like I said before, I knew this wasn't going to be your main event match, but this is supposed to be your top challengers. You sold your pay-per-view on. Now it's now you got to give him somebody. Anyway, next. Okay, now it's time for your main event, the Anarchy in the Arena match with the Elite versus the BCC. The Elite coming out to Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas, and I believe the band was called Violent Idols. They play Wild Thing live for the Blackpool Combat Club. About the third time they went through that song, it was starting to get annoying, especially when the match was going on. Probably the first time I ever, cheer for the Not So Young Bucks is when they gave a double super kick to the lead singer. Don't know who he is. Yes, we kind of made a comment. It's like, oh, he's in a blackface. I'm pretty sure. What's going to be said about that? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure something's going to be said first thing in the morning on social media. But I think that's part of his gimmick. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's part of his gimmick. Kind of like Slipknot with their mask, Kiss with their makeup. You got Violent Idol with his, mask. It's a mask. That's what it is. And a little paint on and red on his chin. Excuse me. Just here. As far as the match, it was just a brutal fight. Referee even bled in this match. Coolest thing about it, I think, Claudio hit the giant swing on the concession area, then pile drived him back. They took it outside. He pile drived him back of the truck. Brought the tax out. Same guy hit a super kick on Moxley, and caused a pop there. He gimmicked the shoe a little bit. I guess that's the reason he had to spend some time outside, make sure that gimmick sneaker worked. And that looked pretty cool. Of course, he paid for it when he took his shoe off and slammed his foot on some thumbtacks. But hey, they all gave it and took it, so I can't really say anything bad about any of it. In the end, it was Takeshita making his reappearance and hit the flying knee on Kenny Omega, letting Wheeler Yuta the opportunity to pin him, and the Blackpool Combat Club comes out victorious and a new member. So guess who are they going to dig up for their new member? Uh, could it be CM Punk? Just kidding. Anyway, like I said, I was pretty entertained by it. A couple of matches I could. The Hater, Jamie Hater, Tony Storm match. That blown, like I said, somebody. Even that part was entertainment. I laughed, like within, during the part of the House of Black match. Of course, the House of Black match was pretty good. I dig them. The Taya Valkyrie and Jade Cargill match was surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be. But the biggest pop was Chris Statlander coming in to beat Jade Cargill, giving Cargill her first loss. So that was pretty good. Other than that, like I said, entertaining little show. I thought it was. I thought it was better than Full Gear. Other than that concludes my recap of Double or Nothing. Like I said, I'll give my opinion on the International Championship come this week's Dynamite. Other than that, you folks have a good one. Take it easy. And happy Memorial Day, folks. Stay safe.
We here at RP Tube Vision would like to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also check out Friends of the